Man, what's good?
Oh shoot. Oh, okay, yeah. So we're live. What's good? What's good with me?
Yeah.
Man, a lot is good. We had kind of interesting thing that happened Sunday at the gig. You know, it's St. Patrick's Day, so they had a band kind of on the main stage in the
okay.
venue that I work at. You know, they can.
How'd that
you've
go?
been there a million times.
Yeah,
they cut it in
yeah.
half. Place was packed. You know, I do a kind of throwback hip hop and R&B thing on Sundays with DJ Deception, and man, it's been it's going good. It's been going great, and place was packed.
Yeah. So how'd the band do with the crowd?
When they switched over, like everybody got up and left. It was crickets in there. And it's not the band's fault. The band is one of the best bands that plays there. But like we've got a built-in, we've got a crowd of regulars that come every Sunday and are expecting,
But why? Like, who made the decision to have the band?
Well, I think that's just kind of one of the things that happens when the guy that does the booking lives in a different city. So he's not there on Sundays.
Yeah, but you guys have been doing that for a hot minute, though.
Man, they've done that a couple of times. Like in the past month, they'll book out a big party on one of the sides of the other and like condense what I do over to one of the sides, which...
Well, I get that if they got people coming in, right? If they're bringing people in for a party and those people know there's going to be a band, but if they're not bringing anybody in for that situation and it's just like, all right, we're going to run basically what we run all the time, but we're going to add a band. Yeah,
it's tricky. Because, Tin Roof, where I DJ, it is a live music joint. So, like, they really want to push the whole band thing. And also, it's a restaurant. So, if they can get a big crowd in there that's going to do dinner and they know that they for sure are going to make X amount of money, I get from a business perspective. But I think also, too, and this is, I'm not throwing any shade to anybody I work with. I love what I'm doing. I love the people that I work with. But sometimes you have to kind of act dynamically and go, you know what? Even though this is on the calendar, we don't want to alienate this whole crowd. Right. And everybody's going to get up and pay their check and leave because we're switching over to...
So did the band play before you?
No, so Deception played from 11 to 3, and I played from 3 to 7, but at 4 o'clock, they closed,
the garage doors?
The garage doors. And then the band played basically in the main room starting at 4. Mm-hmm. And that's when, like I said, it was still a packed house in there. And that's when everybody got up and bounced.
Kind of dipped out. Yeah, so it was a totally different vibe than every other Sunday.
Yeah. Again, like, it's kind of one of those live and learn. But everybody was coming up to me. I'm not trying to, I don't want to say names, but everybody's coming up to me going, yo, what happened? And I'm like, this is, just kind of a lesson learned. Let's not do this again. And the summer's going to be tricky too, I think, because of what it's turned into and how it's built. Mm-hmm. So like anybody that's listening to this that has never been to one of my Sundays, think R&B and ribs. And I know it's different. It's St. Louis, whatever. It's not.
Yeah, it's like our version.
It's not, but it's kind of like, I would say it's our version, R&B and ribs. And, so that's kind of lesson learned. I was getting ready to say something. I forgot what it was. But let's get into it, man. I got to, no, I'm tripping. Let me ask you about your gig. I don't want to be rude.
Oh, my gig. So Chicken and Pickle is easy. I mean, people playing pickleball. I'm just playing pop. Easy joints. Biggest thing about gigs like that, my advice to anybody that'll do like a corporate event or like a family friendly event is just don't offend anybody. That's the goal of the DJ. Don't offend anybody. So like that's the kind of music you gotta play. You can't offend anybody.
With the music.
Yeah, with the music. Well, yeah, don't offend anybody with your body or anything like that either. But yeah, as far as like musically, right? Like
get out my face,
right? Yeah, just don't offend anybody with the music, straight down the middle. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an advocate of having clean music. I guess that's comes from being a radio DJ. But I remember talking to DJs. Man, I don't download any of the clean versions. I'm like, man,
Well,
Like,
I don't do a great job of it. I'm gonna be
I
honest
get
with
everything
you.
clean and dirty, man. Like just because,
smart.
and I've always been even before I was in radio because I always wanted to be in radio. Before I was in radio, I would always get clean and dirty because I always wanted to have, and I hate it. I hate it when I'm on the pools and I click on a record and they don't have a clean version. It drives me nuts, man. Because I want that clean. I'd rather have, if I had to pick one, I'd rather have a clean version than a dirty version because I can play the clean version everywhere.
One of these days, we got to do an episode where we're talking about like how we organize our music, where we download from, where we store our music, like on external, internal, or whatever. Because I bet you and I are probably night and day different because I'm more of a video guy and you are not. So you have there's issues there that kind of have to be.
Yeah, I used to do video.
Sorted.
Yeah, I mean, then when I did video, I ran external, but I don't do video. But now with the new Macs, I run it external again. I was all internal. Now with the new Mac, I'm external again.
Well, I think with USB-C, you can go external and it's, but with the old USB, the lag on the load up and stuff like that was kind of tricky.
Yeah, now with the solid state drives, it's better.
Solid state, USB-C, yeah, you can
like
plug. Man, I probably should do the switcheroo.
Yeah. So.
Actually, I remember years ago when I was still on my, I want to say 17-inch MacBook Pro.
Oh, the big boy.
Maybe no. I think I think when I went video, I went over the 15-inch.
Okay.
And your best friend Caustic is the one that gave me some tips on doing video because him and JE were big video guys. Who else was doing video in St. Louis at that time?
I was doing video.
You were doing video, and one of the early adopters.
Yeah, I got into video because I saw JE doing it. He actually, gave me the game on the video. It was before the 57 came out, and he was doing it without the 57. He told me, he's like, man, Rain's getting ready to release the Rain 57, and with the 57, you'll be able to run video without anything extra. And I was like, oh, bet. So when the 57 came out, I got a 57, and this is when I was DJing at Club XS on the landing too. They got a 57. Actually, they got the 57 first, and I got mine. And I was running video down there. And this was like 2005, 6, 7, something like that.
That long ago?
Yeah. If you look it up, man, it came. Kid Boogie just posted on Facebook or something the other day, like, oh man, nobody's running videos. Like, man, we used to do that like 15 years ago. We were running video like way back, maybe like 2009, whatever. If you look up when the 57 came out, that's when video came to Serato Scratch Live, and you were able to run it. Because before, what you had to do is you had to MIDI map the crossfader and then the video crossfader are like separate, and you had to MIDI map it. That's how like JE was doing it with the Pioneer DJM 800. He was showing me he MIDI mapped it, but he was like, "Yo, when the 57 comes out, you won't have to MIDI map it. It'll be native, and you can just run the video. You'll be all good." So yeah, again, when it came out, I grabbed it, was downloading videos, and I DJ'd video for I don't even know how long, for a hot minute when it was popping, and I would DJ video everywhere. But then that's how I DJ'd in Vegas. I was DJing video.
That's dope. For me, and I'm so actually both times that I started doing video and I got out of video and I started doing video again. But both times, like the manager came to me and was like, "Hey, we're doing video now, so we need you to switch over to video." When I was DJing at Q, like I guess Villain was DJing video upstairs, and Eric, the manager, was like, "Yo, we're gonna do." We want you to do video down here. We got it set up so you can do video down here. And so I went and spent all this money and, did all this to get my video game together. And same thing kind of happened at Tin Roof, where Brian, the manager at the time, was like, "Yo, we're going to do video again. Or we're going to have the DJs start doing video." So I was like, "All right, cool." And I go buy a new MacBook and I start I spend all this money downloading all these videos and everything to try and replicate what I normally have in my library, but just having video versions of it, and it can be expensive for anybody that's in video. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And and nobody else did it.
Well,
it's just me.
Video is storage expensive.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying. And that's part of why I got away from doing video, because like you just run out of space. Because
that's not even what I don't like about it. It's not the space. It's there's stuff that I want to edits I want to play or whatever, and I don't want to be a video editor. So when you sign up to be a video DJ, you're kind of signing up to be a video editor, or you have to make do with what you got, and that kind of sucks because your sets can like just whatever, you know, your sets can be a little bit repetitive because you're like, well, I'd like to play the remix of this, but I have the video of the regular version, so I'm going to go ahead and play the regular version. And so, you know, so some DJs,
time expensive too, like, you know, making those video edits. Like I had gotten into that because back then when video DJing, it came out with the 57 and it was big. Everybody was doing it. There was a lot of people making edits. I made a couple edits. Video edits and stuff like that. I even made some video mixes. We figured out how to do that. But yeah, it was just time expensive. It was storage expensive. And the biggest thing for me about video is people didn't care.
Hey, watch yourself.
I think that you and I don't agree about. I DJ'd. I distinctly remember this. Laclede Street, SLU College Bar situation. I'm doing video, and for whatever reason, I got on a tandem of playing a bunch of records that didn't have videos, and the screens weren't. I just got on a roll, and I was playing all these songs, and crowds going crazy. And I happened to look up, and like I was like, "Oh shit, I'm not playing videos for these songs," but the crowd was going nuts. And at that point, I was like, "Fuck these videos!" Like, I was done with it.
Look, like, I do kind of agree with you. Let me add a little caveat though.
Yeah.
Nightlife, like going out on a Saturday night where everybody's like, you know, kicking it, dancing, everybody's standing up and they're in groups, you know, talk whatever. But like I think it does add an extra element to like the day parties where people are sitting around. Some people are watching football and next to it you got the like Lil Wayne video playing or whatever. Like I think it's cool. It's novelty. It's something that will, you know, it adds to the experience. But yeah, you absolutely can rock a party without video. Deception, who plays before me and turns that place upside down. Video. He's not doing video. So
he was. Yeah. I mean, he used to do video too back.
He used to. Yeah.
One place that like, so yeah. I mean, I feel like maybe there's a place in the time for video, but the only place I can think of was a spot called Area 14 that used to be in Clayton, ran by Eric Hickman. Tiny Sushi Bar was next to it. That place was small. It was really quaint. It was really intimate, and we would do video there. But like it was super loungy. And video worked there because it was just such a chill spot. It was almost like a I won't say members only, but like you had to know like about it to go.
Yeah.
But outside of that, man, like I just don't see
Tiny, was that the place that was kind of upstairs?
So it moved. So it used to be next to Napoli. Then it moved around the corner. When it moved around the corner, they set it up upstairs. It became a bigger restaurant. Yeah. So in the beginning, it was on a different corner. I forget the name of the streets.
Like it felt like a lounge more than a restaurant. Was that it?
Yeah. So when they moved it into the bigger space, it was still loungy because it was a sushi restaurant, still that type of vibe. But the original spot was a lot smaller, and it was separated by 2 rooms, and the restaurant was kind of like in the front, and the lounge like was in the back. And when you walked into the lounge, it was like all white, and there was 2 big screens. They even had J.E. I think was one of the originators of who kind of like came up with the concept for the place, or helped come up with the concept, because he built a DJ booth that had a TV in it. So right on the front of the DJ booth there was a TV, and then there was 2 big screens, if I remember correctly, that you would play the videos to, and people would chill, kind of sit back
I have some foggy memories.
Yeah.
of a foggier time in my life when I believe DJ Who was some of the BSS guys were DJing there.
Probably
Who and
maybe Uptown.
I forget, but yeah.
Ma probably played there. A lot of people probably played there at some point in time. Because Eric was in tune to the DJ culture, and he knew all the DJs, so right. He had them come out and play. And then if you were doing, and that was a place like you kind of had to do video because it was set up for it. Mm. But that was like the only place really that I was like, all right, video makes sense here. Everywhere else that I played at, even the spot I played in Vegas, like, and I would go there almost like once a month. Did we need video? Not really.
Kind of take it or leave it.
Yeah, I mean, we were still rocking. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Vegas, they don't care. Like, still killing it. So, yeah, I don't know. But to go back to video now, no way.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in it. I'm committed. You know, like I don't have to DJ video, but whatever. If you need a video DJ, I'm your guy.
Call that guy.
Yeah.
Don't call me.
So
if you call me, I'm going to give you his number.
I'm going to ask you about your I don't know what to call it. Like your
what I sent you
fixation earlier? Well, no, I was going to ask you about your fetish for small DJ equipment. I don't know what to call it, but it made me think of another question. So you think on that for a second, but I'm going to ask you another question.
Yeah.
Before that, what do you need? What, like, and I'm looking for like outside of the box stuff. I'm not like your laptop or headphones. Like, what do you need when you go to a DJ gig to feel comfortable? Is there anything that you bring with you? Is there anything that you do? Do you have any rituals? Do you like do a shot before you start? Do you know, what do you do to get comfortable with the fact that you're getting ready to?
This is going to be the lamest answer ever.
Tell me.
I need the equipment to work. That's all I need. That's all I need.
That's lame.
The equipment to work.
Yeah.
So like, and I feel like we came up at the same time, right? Like you would go DJ places and we learned how to DJ, or we came up DJing on all different kinds of experimental DJ equipment. Whether it was a MTX, which made pro audio or car audio that had a mixer in ISIS, or some, Pioneer or Vestex or Newmark or Stanton or whatever, Rain, all these different mixers, Gemini. So like, having that experience, like now, like with the equipment being so advanced, I just need it to work. That's it. I mean,
so what I'm envisioning, I guess, is like, what is on your rider? Like if you're going to go.
So if I had to make a rider?
Yeah. And I'm not talking about equipment, I mean, because we're going to talk about equipment in a second.
So outside of equipment, what's on my rider?
Individually wrapped cashews,
Coke in
a glass harmonica.
Like I never got big enough to really have a rider, so I never had one. But I don't even know like what I would put on there, to be honest, because I'm not a heavy drinker. I guess what I need is space, man. Space, that definitely helps. I don't need people on top. I couldn't, like those boiler room sets.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle that.
I don't like that either. I don't like when there's a bunch of people in the booth. DJs I can deal with. Like if you were in the booth with me, I would be fine. Like, but if once I have people I don't know around me, that's when I start getting a little, like if I'm in the middle of working out transitions and like you're trying to tell me a story.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, you say DJs, but it depends on the DJs, right? Like, veteran DJs that know when to talk and when not to talk. Oh, cool. Other DJs that just want to, like, ask you a million questions. It's like, nah, it's not the time.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not the time for that.
Or the people that come at you, and I don't know if we ever talked about this before because my memory's shit, but, like, people that want to tell you, like, the details of their life. Man, my cat died this week. I'm like, yo, not right now.
Not right now.
I don't want to know about nothing right now
my
except for
sick or whatever. Like, that sucks.
Man.
And I think what happens is it's such a bad place and time for those types of conversations. We just come off as assholes because
because you're like, no, dude,
because we're like, we can't talk about that right now.
They want to catch up, but it's like, hold on, I'm performing right now. I'm like we talk about thinking a few steps ahead. You come start hitting me with that. I'm not a few steps ahead anymore because I'm focused on, I want to be present with you and process whatever it is that you're telling me, but I can't do two things at once. Some people can. Like there's some people that just seem so unfazed, and RDJ is one of those people. RDJ can he can be DJing, his kids would be on stage, there'll be, people coming up and talking to him, telling him their life story, and he's, on the mic and all of those things at once, and I'm just like, dude, how do you do that?
Yeah. So what's great about DJing with Artie is because I DJed with him last Thursday for 314 Day, he handles all that.
Yeah, and you can just focus on...
You just DJ.
That's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He handles all that. Whatever you want to call it, he takes care of it, and you just DJ. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on... So, when I leave on Sundays to go down to Tin Roof, go downtown, I stop at the gas station. I get a Mountain Dew. I know. I'm sorry. Whatever. Which I know I shouldn't, but it gives me a little, me a little zip. Yeah. And I get some some Dots pretzels. Oh yeah. I gotta have snacks with me. Even if I don't eat them, I need to have snacks because I might get halfway through the gig and I don't want to order food, or it might take a half an hour to get the food or whatever. And I'm hungry right now. I need something. I need some gum. Yeah. I just can't be. Yeah, you gotta have some gum on you.
You never know. You never know,
especially. Yeah.
Let's see. What else what else is going to be on the rider? Of course,
Now
DJ
you got
Quinn's,
me thinking. Yeah, you're right. Like I do little stuff like
that.
I didn't even think about it. Yeah.
Yep. I do like to get places super early. Mm-hmm. Anybody that knows me knows that I show up to everything real early. I like to get comfortable. I can't show up. Some people show up at like 9:59 and they start at 10. I can't do that. I'm not that guy. I'm there super early because I like to set up and then relax and acclimate to the room. And once I get comfortable in the room, then it's like, okay, cool. I can go from here. But I don't like that.
That rushed feeling.
That rush, yeah.
I'm trying to get better. I have taken note that I wanted to get better at that. I don't know if I want to. I know how early you get to gigs. I don't know if I want to get there that early.
No. Mine's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I have been like trying to leave the house a little earlier, so I don't have to like rush. Because I felt like I was getting into that habit, and that's not a good habit to have, because things can go wrong, or you just like you're just feeling rushed. So I definitely. I've been trying to get into a better habit of leaving the house a little bit earlier so I can get there a little bit earlier, maybe like 10 or 15 minutes earlier than normal. Like, so if I start at 10, I might try to get there like 9:30, 9:35, something like that.
I like to support the opening DJ too.
I don't have a lot of openers though. Like you have a kind of whole situation. Like when I get to a gig, ain't nobody DJing when I get there. So
you'll get there one day.
Yeah, hopefully. But like you were saying that, like, you know what I do is I typically will get like an energy drink. I will do that from time to time, like probably consistently. Because what I'll do is I'll be like, man, I'll leave the house. I'm like, man, I need an energy drink. I stop at the gas station, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm not stopping at the gas station. I'm just gonna wait till I get to the gig because I can get it for free. And that's how I operate.
Yeah. I got to watch it with the energy drinks, though, because they're small and I get thirsty and I start chugging them. And I'll have like 2 or 3 Red Bulls. Next thing you know.
No, you just do one. Do one sugar free, dog. Sugar free.
Yeah. I'm having like out of body experiences.
Up there convulsing.
Oh, my God.
So I want to bring it back. You talking about like my fetish with the tiny DJ gear.
Yeah, you got it. So what is up with that, man?
So, man, here's the deal, bro.
Oh, hold on. Let's set it up. Set it up, because today in the in the little DJ group, S4S group, Facebook chat, whatever.
Yeah.
He posts a picture of a DJ setup with an iPhone as basically the computer. And what's that called? DJ.
So DJ Pro by I think it's DJ Pro by Algorithm, or it's Algorithm by DJ Pro, one of the two, whichever way. I mean, it's been around. Like the DJ community, we know about it.
Right.
It's been around for a minute, but like, so here's my thing to take it back. I'm always trying to figure out a way to minimize my setup and make things easier for me for certain situations. So like, just to give you a little bit of preference on this, like I've been kicking around the idea of DJing with sticks, with like a stick controller, like the XDJ RX by Pioneer, where you'd use like just
I think Lunar Riot's got one.
Yeah, Lunar Riot's got one, but that thing's expensive. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to spend that money. So Algorithm has this app that works with an iPhone or iOS, Android, iPad. They even have like the computer version, laptop version. And I downloaded it, and I paid for the pro version, which is like $6.99 a month. And it works. And it works well. It's got stems on it. It's got effects. It's got hot cues. And it also has like streaming capabilities that with Apple Music, Beat Source, Tidal, SoundCloud. And you can even, hook up like a thumb drive or something to your iPhone and run, local filed music. But it really works, and I think it's really cool, and I think it's
Would you actually use it though? Like, would you take it to the gig? It's Saturday night. You're playing it. Whatever.
It's coming. So here's the issue that I have right now is the controller that I have. Well, all the controllers that I own aren't class compliant with the software or the app. So they work, but they don't output the audio through like the XLRs on the controller. So, but there's another controller out there I'm looking at. I'm like, it works, like it's class compliant.
Why wouldn't they do that with Pioneer controllers?
So there are some Pioneer controllers, just not the ones that I own have it. Like,
that's weird.
Yeah, it's just like, so there's a list. So if you go to like djpro.com, there's a big list. If you go, but you have to pick like, are you trying to do this on Android? Are you trying to do the iOS? Trying to do it like on Mac or Windows? And it'll give you a list of like what's class compliant. What's the class compliant hardware for the app? But the thing is like, and going back to like what I was saying before, like, I need things to just work. If they work and they work the way that I want them, I need them to work, I'm good with it. Like, I don't necessarily need my, $2,500 laptop if I can DJ off my phone. The same way. It's not even like I got to take a step back and I can't do this and I can't do that. No, I can DJ the same way. And that's what's dope about this whole situation with just an iPhone.
Yeah, I think maybe my issue with it is, and I mentioned the one issue, which is like taking phone calls and stuff like that. Like I would be scared that if I was responding to text messages or something like that. Like,
so I tested that today, and you can respond, you can text.
Okay.
If someone calls you, you just can't answer the phone. The phone will ring. It won't interrupt the app, but as soon as you answer the call, then it will interrupt the app.
Okay.
So you can't pick up the phone, but as long as you don't pick up the phone, you're fine. Now again, like I was talking to Matty Maximus about it, and he kind of asked another question he's like, well, what if you get on like Instagram and audio plays? I didn't try that, but I would imagine that if that happens, it's going to interrupt. It may interrupt the app. I don't know which one's like the master and the slave.
But I wonder if it's like kind of like Serato too, where like if a video plays on Instagram, that's not going to run through the mixer from the laptop.
I don't think it'll run through the mixer,
but it'll interrupt it.
I think it'll interrupt the app. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Like, people listening, like if you want to try it out, see what happens. Maybe that's another test to do.
And I'm not sure if you can do this on a phone, but you might be able to. There might be some settings where it's like no matter what else runs, the audio from this particular application, unless you close it out, is going to take priority.
Yeah. So what I would do, say if I do this, I would turn my phone on Do Not Disturb just in case.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't answer the phone. And then I would close out like all apps like Facebook or Snapchat or something like that or Instagram. I'd close them all out and I wouldn't open them. The one thing it does suck, I would say, is that people use their phones so much for so many different things. Then now you can't use your phone.
Right.
But the other thing I would say is, ain't nothing stopping you from getting another phone.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I use my phone as a secondary, so I always hook up some RCAs with an adapter to my phone. So like if I'm in the middle of a set and all of a sudden, whatever, we get USB dropouts or something like that, I can instantly just plug my phone and press play on a Spotify playlist. That's another one of the things that I always have ready to go, where I don't have to run all the way over to the DJ booth and turn the house sound on. Like I will, unless the mixer like completely craps out on me, like I can kind of keep the music going in probably less than 10 seconds.
You can also, for everybody listening, like you can run that through your USB as well. Like, so say Serato is messing up. You can close out Serato, keep your USB plugged up to your laptop, open up Apple Music, open up Spotify on your computer, and it will route that music through your mixer as a sound card.
Oh, word?
As well, yeah.
Is that something you set up in like the playback?
So you just go to settings, go to sound, and then pick your mixer. Like say you got a S9, output. You pick S9 as your output. And then it will play whatever's coming through, just like a regular audio interface. It turns that into an audio interface, so that way you can just close out Serato, open up whatever. Like a lot of wedding DJs do this, right? You get all these crazy requests for songs that you probably don't want to download, or maybe you're only gonna play it for this one particular situation. And you just never gonna play it again. So what you would do is use some kind of streaming service, Apple Music. It's easy. If you got a Mac, you might subscribe to Apple Music or Spotify or whatever. And then you just go on there, search the song you want to play, and play it.
Boom. But okay, that's cool, and that's a workaround if you don't have something like BeatSource, right?
If you have BeatSource, obviously, you can run. But so let's just say, again, like Serato, for whatever is having an issue, like you said.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of like plugging up your phone, you just like close out Serato. Say you needed to reboot Serato. Right? You close out Serato and then open up Apple Music, pick a song, play it. Or the request. Like say somebody requests a song. This might not need to get out to the world, but if you request a song, you could play anything. Like, people are like, can you play it off YouTube? Technically, you can.
What are you doing? Luckily, no regular people are ever going to listen to this.
Yeah,
only geeky DJ nerds like ourselves. Well.
So, but back to the phone. The phone thing's dope, though, man. Like, I mean, like, I'm always...
It's dope. Like, how do you see the screen?
Just like you would when you're looking at your phone, it pops up. You get your waveforms. You get the two little wheels.
See, I need the whole screen so I can scroll through and I can see like 30 songs at a time.
Yeah, I mean you can't. You don't have that. You don't. Yeah, you do have to operate a little bit different.
And you don't get to type. Like I
like to be able to. You can type. You hit the search. You type in what you want, just like if you're texting.
What? A toothpick?
No, just like if you're texting. Just like if you're texting, you type search, you text in whatever you want.
All right, yeah, I get it. I don't know.
So if you're using BeatSource, if you're using Apple Music, so you can even if you go Apple Music, you can even drop down Apple Music's top 100 charts, and the whole chart. Like right now, like Kanye West Carnival is number 1. Well, I think actually Sexy Red took it over. Sexy Red's song is number 1 on there, right? So when you pop up that list, it'll show you all that. You can just scroll and you see everything. It shows you the BPMs of the records. Now, yeah, it's gonna be different than Serato because it's not Serato, right? So like, you're not gonna be able to sort the same way and move the same way as Serato. No, you can't do that. It is gonna be different in that situation. But, and I will say this as well. This may not be DJing with algorithm or DJ Pro. Might not be the way to DJ everything, but it's a way you could DJ certain situations, like
backyard barbecues,
even like some kind of like some corporate events where like I'll DJ like Nordstrom in the mall, right? I can set up a playlist in there and run it straight off of that, and I'd be all good.
But I'm just now getting into I for the first time in my life have 2 DJ setups. You've always had options and multiple configurations of how you're going to set up. And for me, it's just, I always, for every gig, no matter what, I use the same equipment. And I recently bought the Rev 7. So I guess like I'm just now starting to have my like awakening or whatever you want to call it, like where I'm starting to entertain the idea of doing something other than having 2 turntables, a mixer.
Yeah.
Phase was kind of the beginning of that too. Getting away from needles was kind of a trip. Like it just, and it all seems to be happening quick. I got Phase, and then I got the controller, and I'm starting to kind of realize like, oh, wait a minute, maybe some of this new stuff. And I know I can't do everything, but we need to start having some guests of those guys that like really geek out on this stuff, like
me.
right, but you guys can talk about it. Like you talking to me about it, I'm like,
what it is, man. Come on, bro.
I know what it is, but
you're an IT guy.
I am resistant. You know what? I'm an IT guy, but it's
you are resistant, and I think that like if you play with it, because here's the other piece about the DJ Pro algorithm is DVS. So here's the thing, too, and people don't know what DVS is. It's just basically Serato with records, right? That's what it is, right? Digital vinyl simulation, whatever the acronym is. But here's what sells it if you're not sold. If you look up who DJ Angelo is, who's one of the most technical, badass DJs on the planet, this guy is the one endorsing it. This guy is making routines. He's all over everywhere. Another set of DJs who are endorsing it, maybe not all of them, are the Beat Junkies, right? They're endorsing it. Some of the Scratch Pickles,
but they're on the payroll,
are endorsing it. But they're using it. They're using it out. But here's the thing, and they're making videos of them using it.
Would they? Okay.
K-Swiss did a DMC routine with it.
Would they be using it if they were not getting that paycheck?
I think so, because it works.
Yes.
Here's the thing,
here's the thing though. Like you're telling me right now that you're kind of swayed by influencers.
No,
if these influencers there's no doubt that it works. Obviously, it works. You tried it. You know that. But like you're taking, they've got a paid partnership, and you're kind of qualifying the quality of the experience because somebody else is using it that's getting paid. It's like, yo, I want to drive a Mercury or a Lincoln because Matthew McConaughey drives a Lincoln.
No. That's not what I'm saying, bro.
That feels like that's what you're saying.
No. I'm watching the videos of the routines being done, and I'm like, he's doing that with that. Okay, so this is not propaganda. It's not jargon. It's not
DJ
flyers.
propaganda.
Right. It's not none of that, dude. It's a video of guys doing routines.
Right. They can still do what they do on their
whether
normal
it's Serato
equipment
or whatever. Yeah, they're doing
on a cell phone.
On the cell phone. They're doing the routines on the cell phone, and I'm like, that's dope.
Right, but when you're doing that, when you're promoting a product and you're putting out videos, or you're doing, even if it's a DMC routine or something like that, to me that's not this. Like you're not going to have the same problems. It's not going to be problematic as it would using your phone for if you're doing a 4-hour set or something like that. Like Those are not the same things.
So what would be a problem that you think you'd run into? This is like open conversation.
Sure.
Like what's a problem you think you'd run into DJing off your phone? For
if there was something that I needed to do on my phone that would potentially interrupt the audio.
Okay. So what if you got another phone?
Well, okay, so I wouldn't even try and use a phone anyways. I would try and use an iPad that would not ring. Yeah, so I got my phone to do anything that I need to do and have an iPad that's going to be my, that I'm going to use the DJ Pro.
Yeah, you can
software.
use iPad. You use iPad.
Right.
But even still,
that's the only way I would do it.
Just say, this is what I'm going to say. Let's just go like the cheapest way possible, right? Like, because the iPad is going to cost you, iPad Pro is going to cost you what? Like, it's cost you maybe $1,000.
Right. Well, hold on. Just so that we're clear, right? I'm not disagreeing with the notion of having a separate device. Mm-hmm. I would be nervous personally about using it on my main cell phone.
I get that.
For a long gig where, and then what if you start running low on juice? How are you going to plug it in and charge it?
Magnetic charging.
All right. I'm kind of doing that right now.
Yeah. Everybody's got the magnetic. Right. But I do agree. Like, if I'm using my only phone, so, for me, I got a kid.
You got to let me win some arguments from time to time, bro.
You just won. What are you talking about? I'm agreeing with you.
Oh. Yeah, I won that.
I do have a kid, so like, if I was using my only phone and somebody needed to get a hold of me, like my ex or maybe the babysitter or whatever needed to get a hold of me or whatever, I would need that. Yeah.
Well, that's how you could get out of phone calls from the ex.
Yeah, that too.
Like, I was DJing. I can't answer the phone while I'm DJing because I use my phone for my DJ software.
Or the jump off that keeps hitting you up.
Hey, I don't know. No jump offs for this guy.
But I agree with that. I think that but I do think it's dope to DJ off a phone, man. Like that's where we're at. Like
it's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool.
I think you need to mess with it. Once you mess with it, you'll be like, damn.
Like I could just see like one of these days you're gonna like fold out a little.
Yep.
You're gonna have like a little thing.
It shows up on the Apple Watch.
You're just gonna open up like a makeup container thing. What are those called?
I don't know, but I know what you're saying. A little
like
makeup
blush
thing, whatever
thing, and you're gonna pull out your little,
it shows up on the Apple Watch.
Turntable that's like the size of a quarter.
Did you hear what I said though? It shows up on the Apple Watch, and you can see the crossfader on the Apple Watch.
All right, you know where that's dope? If you got to drop a deuce,
right?
You're like, I'll be right back, and you're DJing from you're in there.
Hey, I bet you could do it, man. That'd be a dope YouTube video.
Yeah. Oh, but that's how they should market it.
That is. It man. I think that the DJ community, man, is. I think there's a couple things going on. We're very reluctant to move forward when we get comfortable with certain situations. For me, I don't know. I guess I just have been like the outlier when it comes to that because I'm always like, I don't always jump on everything. I'm not that guy. But when it works and it's usable, I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like when controllers first came out, they were trash. They were toys. But when the controller that came out that worked, I was like, all right, that's the one. I was on it. But then I think, too, another thing that happens is there's DJs that need to justify their existence by the equipment that they have in the booth.
You're gonna ruffle some feathers, man.
Bro. I'm gonna ruffle them because I'm a strong believer in that, bro.
No,
because
it's true. Sometimes you see people's DJ booth and it looks like a spaceship, and they do
nothing, bro. Like there's a lot of that going on because it's just like the big truck thing. They gotta overcompensate where they ain't got the skills. So it's like, man, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that.
Right, but to the average person, to like somebody who's not initiated into the DJ game, they walk up to the DJ booth and see all these blinking lights and like, whoa, there's a lot going on here, Especially if the person's spinning like EDM or EDM remixes and something like that. Like, they might be duped. They might.
Yeah. But I think too, though, I had this conversation with Maddie Maximus today. I think, too, if somebody were to walk into the booth and see you DJing with the phone and you really cutting it up, that could be something, a wow factor too, because they'd be like, how is this guy doing that with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would be dope. You walk in the booth, you think you're gonna see all this spaceship, Deep Space Nine shit, and this cat's got a phone and his controller. He's cutting, he's going back and forth, he's doing this and that and blah blah blah. He's really DJing like how we DJ, and that's the whole thing. Like, I can DJ that way with the phone, and I think that people would be like, "Holy shit! Like, how the fuck? How's he doing that?" Like.
Yeah. I could see it. They probably wouldn't even notice. The phone's so small.
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Whatever.
They might not notice, or they might, maybe they will, maybe they don't. Yeah, just imagine. Like I said, like, I like the idea, like the whole sticks thing. I think it's cool. I don't like the fact that with the sticks we can't use stems. So that's kind of pushed me away from just using sticks. Because there's no stem control.
I don't think I knew that.
Using sticks, yeah. So if you're using like a, CDJ 3000, and this is probably coming at some point with the CDJ 4000s or whatever, they'll probably integrate stems control with the CDJs, but I don't think it's here yet. So right now, at the present time, you can't do it. But with the DJ Pro, they have what's called neural mix, and that's their like Serato stems, version stems, right? And it works. It's like there's no lag. Like,
yeah, I'm getting lag with the videos. Like, for some reason, it takes longer to, which I know you can analyze your stuff beforehand, but like when I hit, like, before I start using it, like, so I'll load up a song.
Oh yeah.
And then like hit a stems button, so it'll do the whatever, the evaluation or the whatever. But yeah, so I don't use it on the fly with videos. I haven't quite figured out the best.
Why don't you have it on analyze on load?
Because I don't need to analyze every song. For the videos, I don't know what that's going to, like, how much space that's going to.
No, it doesn't take up any space.
Take up? You telling me stems doesn't take up any space?
No, not when you analyze it on the fly. Not like that. No.
But it saves, right? It saves the stems separately into.
No, it's just gonna analyze it every time you load it. No, so like the whole thing where like stems was like saving like a separate file or whatever. That's a whole different way of using it.
I think maybe also, I don't know, like just every time putting that strain on the CPU or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that, I think is going to be. I think that's what makes me a little bit nervous. Is like I'm already running videos.
Well, yeah, the videos.
How much more strain do I want to put on my machine? And I'm running an M1, and it's great. It doesn't give me any problems. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I need to figure out what I'm doing.
I mess around with it because I think if you did analyze on load, you'd be fine.
But it still takes sometimes 10 seconds. So I load up a song, even if it's analyzed on load. Because it's a video, it's got to look at it for a second. It takes.
Well, the video is a bigger file, so there's just more information for it to analyze, to process, right? Yeah. So, yeah, that's another reason why I don't do the videos.
Man, we have lost every single person, every like normal non-geeky like anybody that's listening to this right now.
Shout out to DJ TJ, man. He told me he listened to the podcast.
I've got a couple calls.
Yeah,
a couple people. This last one, we didn't really push it too much, but I think we're probably getting there where we need to start kind of pushing a little bit more on the socials and stuff like that. I just wanted to get a few under my belt, and this is a little behind the scenes conversation here, but just get a few under the belt so that, like, I don't know, we're just in the flow state when we're talking and stuff. Right. So. Anyways, enough about that. I don't want to.
Check this out.
Sure.
What do you think about the vinyl DJ? I don't want to say explosion, but like, I don't want to say it's yeah, I guess it's coming back. I don't know.
It's in style right now.
Yeah, it is in style. But what do you think about it?
Well, hold on a second. You told me to think about this and have an answer, but I didn't because I was doing other stuff. So I like it. I do like it.
Would you do it?
Would I do it? I would do it. I don't know if I would want to do a whole night. There's more prep that goes into it. You know, you have to be, you know, you got to load up the crates and drag, you know. So there's got to be some thought and also just kind of being a little bit out of practice. I'm sure it'll come back with, you know, a night or two of practice. And to be honest, when I stopped DJing vinyl and just completely switched over, I took those records and those crates, and those exact crates are pretty much on my shelf in the order that they were when I stopped DJing. So like I wouldn't have to spend that much time going through thousands and thousands of records to put stuff together. Like it's still fairly organized. I don't think it would be too tricky. What I'm wondering, and this, I think this ties into a lot of the conversation here, is like you're, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just gonna like go on a limb here and just make an assumption, but like you're trying to pull stuff away, like reduce things away. What's unnecessary? If I don't need a laptop and I can just use my phone, cool. If I can use a smaller controller that's easier to carry, cool. So like there's this kind of minimalist, I guess, approach that you are taking. And then we have the completely other end of the spectrum where like people are setting up whole freaking Starship Enterprise setup, you know. And then there's also people that are doing these like, I want to say niche. How do you say it? Niche?
Yeah, niche. Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, niche.
All right, man.
Or niche or niche.
Is it niche or niche?
I think you say it both ways.
All right. That's where I was like, oh, I'm gonna say this word stupid. Yeah. Sounds stupid. But all right, everybody. That's that's my college degree. Woo! But so this niche stuff, where it's like vinyl's one of those things, video's one of those things. Yeah. And I think that's a better approach to like offering something, you know, a little more bang for the buck, or a little bit of a specialty sort of situation versus just trying to look like you're doing more by like smoke and mirrors. Yeah. So I'm for it. I'm down. Like I would go out of my, like if say whoever, like Jay's a great example. He's back in spinning vinyl now. Like I would go out of my way for that rather than watch just like somebody go play their regular standard set that they would normally play on a Thursday night. Like it gives you a little bit of something where like, oh, that's special. I'm going to go out of my way to check it out.
Man, we're like on the opposite sides of the spectrum of this one. Here comes DJ Q, the hater. I'm not really a hater, but here's my thing about the vinyl situation right now, and what I'm seeing. And this is just what I'm seeing. Maybe it's going on and I'm not seeing it. But I'm seeing a lot of vinyl sets, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, whatever, little clips here and there, where people playing vinyl, but they're just playing records. Like they're not mixing, they're not really cutting.
They're not mixing?
That's what I'm saying.
They're not blending?
Right. Like that's what I'm seeing a lot of.
No, you didn't say that. You got to add those caveats before you ask me about it.
But I thought you saw the same thing.
No, if I'm going to go DJ a set, I'm not going to just